ऊपर से ठंडा है। बट ठीक है, बस whatever. You guys write again, everything. Don't use the old book. Online people will start in 2 minutes. 4. Group 4. CFR, बाकी SPM, BB. हाँ, I don't know. They might give both also, I think, but he said group 4. Everybody has got this. So we're going to start solving today, okay? Hmm. Calcius you never. ठीक है, ठीक है. In the meantime, we'll start. Okay. सबको good evening. Today is your first lecture for group 3 for what? SFM. First of all, in the first 10-15 minutes, I'll be only going through what? The syllabus, the content, what you need to do, how you need to do, and what will be your sequence for what? Chapters. This is your extract of your what? Your new syllabus. Now, everybody has the notebooks, right? Notebooks, calculators. अभी भी नहीं है, मुझे बताओ. I can tell him. Even you don't have? और है क्या? Check it. आपके पास भी नहीं है? आप ऐसे आए CMA फाइनल लेक्चर में? करा देंगे. ठीक है. He'll bring it. I have. Okay. Pay attention, please. But remember, from today, everybody has to be serious. Write everything down, whatever it is. ठीक है. We're gonna chalk down every sum, every question, every RTP, जितना भी सब कुछ करने वाले, mock, model, everything. Okay. Now, first of all, tell me when is your examinations due? First, tell me your attempts. Everybody, attempts due कब है? Is anyone giving examination in the month of December 25? June 26? Yes. December 26? How many are December 26? Same, everybody. Okay. First of all, आपका जो ग्रुप 3 है, ग्रुप 3 में सब्जेक्ट्स तो है, बट दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वन. विच वन? योर SFM. फुल फॉर्म क्या है उसका? स्ट्रेटेजिक फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट. इट इज बेसिकली एक्सटेंशन ऑफ योर व्हाट? आपके CA में इंटरमीडिएट में कौन सा सब्जेक्ट था? विच सब्जेक्ट वाज? फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट. ओके. इन योर फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट वेरी बेसिक चैप्टर्स वर देयर टू बी लिटिल बिट रिवाइज करेंगे. कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल, डिविडेंड पॉलिसी, leverage, capital budgeting, ratio, working capital, all these chapters were there. But if you see your CMA final curriculum, it is to the point. If you want to score, you can score an exemption also where in this. But if you go on the right track, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4 और 5, only 5 compartments are over here. And if you see the weightage also, you will see. एक बार आराम से करेंगे. We'll write down the syllabus and I'm starting from today itself. Okay. Number 1. सेक्शन ए अगर आप चेक करेंगे, इट इज नथिंग बट व्हाट योर capital budgeting, also called as dash what? Investment decision, which you are a bit aware what was there in your what CMA inter. What is net present value? What is IRR? How much is the weightage for that? 25. It's a decent weightage. Every examination question will be there. In fact, what we'll do is जो recent वाला आपका paper था question paper, we'll go through that also. I know it is the first day, but फिर भी pattern समझना आपको बहुत important है. Second point, in this only, sir, then if capital budgeting was there in my CMA intern, then what is different at what? CMA final. Two things are different. One, this risky proposal for investment, and second is this what? Leasing decision, which was not there for your what? CMA intermediate. Which is not there for your CMA intermediate. Please pay attention. Huh? And this also, which is new, and that's a theory thing. That is what? Securitization. ये पूरा मिला के कितना weightage है? 25%. There will be big questions, long questions on what? Your capital budgeting. So please start writing down your content first, and everybody start. Everyone. सबसे पहले investment decisions, also called as your capital budgeting. Also called as your capital budgeting. Understand the curriculum first, the content first. This time in my new notes, I'm putting new questions also. Okay. And it will be very simple. After every chapter, we'll be having test. Okay. But first understand the curriculum और आपको marks कहाँ से लेने हैं. सबसे first आपका क्या आता है? Capital budgeting. Investment decision में there are three parts. One is your basic investment decision. Second is your evaluation of risky proposal. Evaluation of risky proposal. Next will be your leasing decision. And last, the newly added one, and that is your securitization. It is a theory concept, but they will ask you. Capital budgeting question and your leasing, it will come in the exam. Huh? So when we start off with that category, which one? Section A. उसमें आपने को दोनों भी चीज करना है. What? Your capital budgeting and your what? Leasing. Please write down the weightage also. कितना है वो? It is 25 marks. Okay? 25 marks. Out of the entire lot, if you are smart enough, you'll understand one thing over there. The most weightage is for what? The second category. And how much it is? 35%. It sums up your like more or less of the half of your paper. Now the point is what? नाम क्या उसका बताएंगे please? It is what? Security analysis and portfolio management, which we're going to start today. Every time the sequence has to be very confirmed. In every lecture, in every batch, I start with this only. What? The first is what? Portfolio management. Now please understand one thing, but it is not only one chapter. It is lots of chapters over here. I'll tell you, then you write it down. Equity and bond valuation. This is one chapter. Wait, afterwards you write. This is one. Second is what? Mutual funds. This is one more chapter. From this, portfolio, asset pricing, portfolio. This is basically your hardcore portfolio. So if you sum up in this, there are three subparts in your 35%. First is what? It is equity and what? Bond valuation. It's a simple chapter. Second is what? Mutual funds, which is most important. And afterwards it is what? Your portfolio. So please do one thing. Write down security analysis and portfolio management, and write down three sub chapters to it. Write down three sub chapters to it. Everybody, please understand the content first. Huh? Which is the first one? Equity and bond valuation. Second is mutual funds. And third, just write down portfolio. That's it. Which we are starting today. Shivangi. Which we are starting today. How much is the weightage? 35. So if you just see smartly over here, even in the first two categories only, you have covered what? More than half of the paper. In your capital budgeting and what? Your portfolio management. And now we will go on to the most nightmare of everyone, and that is what? Part C and Part D. Now Part C is nothing but what? Your derivatives, and Part D is what? Forex. Okay. Now always remember one thing. Derivatives, forex, this was not there at your what? CMA intermediate level. It is easy, it is very interesting also. But the point is what? Always keep these chapters at the end. Even when you are revising also, please complete what? All the easy chapters, and please get marks from here. And then jump into what? derivatives and forex. Other way around, if you really love what derivatives and forex, then start what with forex and derivatives. But what I prefer is what portfolio, capital budgeting, and then you go where derivatives and forex. So please write down part C, derivatives. It is for 20 marks. Just write down one word, derivatives, and then you write down forex, and then you write down forex, and then you write down forex, which is of 15 marks, 1 5, which is of 15 marks, which is of 15 marks here, which is of 15 marks. Sit anywhere, which is of 15 marks. And last, it's a theory concept, and that is nothing but what digital finance. Is it newly introduced? और कितने का है? One question will come on that of 5. Okay, please write down that also. Please update that also. Digital finance. Digital finance. Okay, very simple. Now please pay attention. Sequence what we are going to follow for 100 marks of SFM. Number 1 will be what? Please tell me. It will be portfolio management, which you needs your hands on. PhD ka you need to have PhD in this, like in and out, everything. All the questions should be covered. Not even one question should be there which has come forex. I'm not taking that into consideration. What digital finance uske baad rahega. But this has to be your sequence. Okay, please start collecting marks from here. Done? Everybody, online people, everybody done? Okay. Now, 2-3 basic points which I'll tell you, because many of you are doing for the first time. Point is this: in SFM for 100 marks, there are 2-3 things which you need to consider first only. And number 1 is what? There are tons and tons of what? Formulas. Okay, starting from today itself only in portfolio management. At some point of time, you will mix up with what? The formulas. Second, when the chapters will go ahead, you will be in a very much difficult situation to what? To recollect all what? The formulas. And एक ही चीज आपको बचाने वाला, that is what? Your practice of dash what? Your sums. We need to solve tons and tons of what? Sums on this. Okay, if you want to keep a separate book for formulas, you can do it. If you want to update in that, you can do it. But there will be what? Formulas every now and then. जो नए चैप्टर्स है now, you know one thing, CMA इंटर में you had done capital budgeting, उसमें भी क्या थे? There were formulas. But the first chapter जो आज करने वाले, कौन सा वाला? The portfolio management, उसमें there will be formulas. Okay, now you have any question regarding this, your content? Okay, before I start with today's lecture, let me first of all show you the recent paper and then we will go ahead. You understand the pattern, what exactly it is, and then we will go ahead. Please pay attention. Online, by the way, one more announcement. People asking over here. Group 4 will start from Monday. CFR will start from Monday. SPM, BV, that is business valuation, even that will start from next week. So if anybody is desirous of giving what? Both the groups, both we are starting. Group 3 just started from today, and group 4 will start from what? The coming week onwards. Okay. By the way, in this week, even law is starting. Okay, here. So we have got 2 faculties for law. One is already started in the morning at 11:30, and one more I'm going to start. That will be in this week only. Okay, you'll get this. The time will load होने को. how many of you are doing both the groups? तुझा टाइम कधी पडलाय 25 थर्ड ग्रुप ना अरे what has happened to this CFR fast track आएगा CFR fast track will also come but the regular batch will start from what it will start from Monday onwards okay so please do join in timings will be updated everywhere it will be this timing only what 7:30 only it will be so the point will be what we'll bifurcate the days it will be 3 days one subject and other 3 days one so what we have decided is no so I'll tell you even SCM is going to start strategic cost management and CFR Kapil sir is planning to keep it on the weekends so he's planning to keep it on Saturday Sunday CFR part and the rest part which is the SCM and what SFM that will be ruled out in the entire week 3 days जैसे पहले था वैसे ही but CFR will be added on the weekend itself because you can take it for longer hours law I'll add in SFM only like 2-3 days first I'll start with this and then I'll bring in law don't forget this is I'll show you afterwards only forget chalo now please do one thing everyone take a new page and write down your first chapter's name and keep that notes in front of you open only and please write down portfolio management everybody please pay attention it is not a demo lecture I'm starting from today itself the ones who have already written it you can write it afterwards also Shubhangi परत लिहायचं सगळं ठीक है please write down your first chapter and that is portfolio management and that is portfolio management okay you can open up your notes also can we start now please pay attention everyone okay first of all we'll talk about this word and then we'll go ahead what is the meaning of portfolio number one please write it down over there it is nothing but what basket of securities it is nothing but basket of securities basket of securities it is a collection of securities okay now many of you are going for articleship many of you will join your jobs also afterwards the moment you start saving you will start putting your money where in the stock market okay everyone is going to start with a very simple thing and that is what the first simple thing is what yes full form systematic investment plan you can start with 500 rupees 1000 5000 jo bhi aapka rahega okay but the point is you know what when you start investing there's one line over there you can just start reading from this and that is 1 2 3 4th read the fourth line read the fourth line in your book and what exactly it is please tell me is here क्या लिखा है fourth line में as per the famous principle of not putting all your eggs in what the same basket if you have 10,000 rupees you will not invest where in one company you will do what diversification you will start putting it what everywhere and that is going to make your what portfolio this portfolio word ये कहाँ से है मुझे बताएंगे आप it is from your album जब फोटोज का कलेक्शन होता है आप क्या बनाते हैं उसका पोर्टफोलियो बनाते हैं वेरी सिंपल ओके यहाँ पे वही करना है बट इट इज नथिंग बट व्हाट ऑल योर शेयर्स एक पॉइंट सेकंड प्लीज कम आउट ऑन दिस डायग्राम फॉर 2 minutes please come down over there okay it is basically an emotion cycle in that stock market first of all everybody's dash what if you can read that word क्या लिखा है वहाँ पे what is optimistic what is optimism it is what being what positive everybody is very enthusiastic कि नहीं पैसा डालते हैं चलो स्टॉक मार्केट में योर एक्साइटमेंट इज देयर योर थ्रिल इज देयर वहाँ पे एक लिखा भी क्या लिखा है वहाँ पे एवरीबडी कंसिडर्स एवरीवन एज व्हाट स्मार्ट आई एम द स्मार्टेस्ट पर्सन आई नो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग एंड ऑल दैट उसके बाद क्या होता है व्हाट इज दैट व्हाट इज यूफोरिया क्या लिखा देखो वहाँ पे लिखा क्या है पॉइंट ऑफ व्हाट मैक्सिमम यू नो यू आर वेस्टिंग, यू नो एवरीथिंग कि यार एक तो टिप आया मुझे, आई एम रनिंग ऑन व्हाट टिप्स, आई हैव नॉट डन एनीथिंग, आई डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज द कंपनी, हु इज द डायरेक्टर, व्हाट द कंपनी डील्स इन, बट स्टिल आई एम गोइंग फॉर व्हाट, इन्वेस्टिंग. And the moment the share price starts dropping down one by one, the first stage is what? Second is what? What is denial? Please tell me. You have accepted the fact, but still you're going for what? Denial. You know the money is going out, but still you have already invested over there. You don't pull your money out because you still think what? The market is going to go up. Next stage is what? Bhiti. Fear. Then you start going down. उसके बाद क्या है? वो डिप्रेशन लिखा नहीं हो, क्या लिखा है देखो? It is desperation. What is the meaning of that? Please, anyone? See, after fear, when you go for desperation, desperate का मतलब क्या होता है? You are desperate that the market is going to go what? Up. Because see, it is going down only. Next is what? You're going to panic. Everybody does that. Everybody happens. Even if your parents have invested money, they will go into this situation. Which situation? Panic. यहाँ पे कौन सा situation था मुझे बताओ? You are optimistic. Straight where you have landed now into panic. Next is what? Next is what? Capitulation. मतलब क्या? Anyone? It is danger than I what? क्या लिखा है वहाँ पे? I was smart 2 minutes before over here. In 2 minutes अभी क्या हो गया मेरा? How could I be so wrong? When Satyam का case happened, when Harshwardhan Mehta का scam happened, this was the same situation what happened, and this happened in one night only. एक दिन में पूरा कांड हो गया. पर यहाँ पे वर्ड है, कौन सा है? People go into what? Depression. So you have lost all your money. करायचं काय है तुम्हाला? All your money is gone, and if थोड़ा फार भी ऊपर मार्केट आने लगता है, then you feel what? Hope, relief, and again same thing starts happening. What? Optimism. They won't ask you this in your what paper. It is just a graphical presentation. But this is how your stock market works. तो इसका मुद्दा एक ही है. Please have knowledge and then what? Go into stock market. Do not go on what? Tips and all, rumors and all, gossips and all. You'll end up in this thing only. जो यहाँ पे लिखा है पूरा. ठीक है? तो 2 मिनट ध्यान देंगे अब everyone. Okay? We just go through theory for a few minutes and then I'll start writing on everything. सबसे पहले, what are the activities in portfolio management? There are 3 major activities. सबसे first के start doing dash what? Selection of security. Start choosing. So when you start investing, you do not go to a very low level company. There's something called as blue chip stocks. मतलब क्या? जो high level की stocks है. Tata for example, Infosys for that matter. You'll start selecting that security. Second is what? Construction of what? Portfolios. कि आपको कौन से sector में जाना है? Hospitality, construction and all that. और last में क्या है? Deciding what? What is weight and proportion? That is nothing but what? How much amount should I invest where? In one share, in one stock, in one security. Next, there are phases of portfolio management. There are 5 phases over there. I've written everything down over there. The first phase is what? Just go through the phase please. First is security analysis. जहां पे ये word आता है कौन सा? Security. उसका मतलब क्या है? Everything comes in that. Your shares, equity shares, your debentures. Okay. So first is security analysis. Second is what? Please tell me. Portfolio analysis. Third is what? Your portfolio selection. Fourth is what? Portfolio revision. So whenever you are thinking कि नहीं यार stock price नीचे आने वाला है, you can always sell that and you can buy what? The new. इसका ही मतलब क्या होता है? आप आपके portfolio को क्या कर रहे हो? Revise कर रहे हो. Last is what? You have to always evaluate your what? Portfolio. Please come down over here. The first one. फिर 2 concept है जो आपके दिमाग में डालना है, फिर मैं portfolio शुरू करता हूँ. Security analysis. It is nothing but the analysis of what? Your share. इसमें आप एक चीज क्या करेंगे, even for that matter when even you do it, when you start investing, when you target one company, people target this first. What is that? The full form you know, right? What is it? Earning per share. How do you compute earnings per share? Give me a very simple background. Earnings per share कैसे निकालते हैं? So very simple. Total earnings divided by what? Total number of shares. So I can check out that. I can also check out what? How much is the dividend payout ratio? This is coming under what? Please tell me. Security analysis. This is what you should do before what? Investing. And don't invest what? Blankly. But इसमें एक चीज है जो मुझे actually आपको, that's why I've written down over there, and this is over here. Please come over this and this. Where it is? This. There are two approaches which the analyst people do. One is the fundamental approach and the other is what? The technical approach. Pay attention. Okay, order karo and then we'll start, okay? In the fundamental approach, the analyst always compares with dash value. Which value? This word is going to come again and again in your SFM. Which value it is? Intrinsic value. What is the meaning of intrinsic value? वो लिखा है मैंने side में. क्या है वो? True worth of a security based on what? Fundamentals. This will do also in SFM. So the fundamental analyst will compare two things. What he'll compare? The current market price and the what? उसका true value कितना है? मतलब true value आपको निकालना है उसका. Market price is not in your hands. It is with whom? Demand and supply of the market. But this you can compute what? The intrinsic value. Number one. So if you are going for fundamental analysis, there's always two values in front of you. Which one? The market and what? The intrinsic. Intrinsic मतलब क्या? वो किसने compute किया है? So आपने compute किया है वो. If the current price is higher, then what value? The share is said to be what? इसका मतलब है that is say आपने दाम निकाला 38 रुपीज, आपका कैलकुलेशन है वो, पर मार्केट में अभी भाव चल रहा है उसका 55. इसका मतलब है दिस इज ओवर प्राइस्ड. उसका एक्चुअल प्राइस कितना होना चाहिए था? 38. पे अटेंशन टू दिस. बट अभी क्या लिखा देखो प्लीज. एन इंटेलिजेंट इन्वेस्टर वुड बाय दो सिक्योरिटीज विच आर व्हाट? अंडर प्राइस एंड सेल दोस व्हेन दे आर व्हाट? ओवर प्राइस्ड. See, whenever the stock market goes down, an intelligent investor will always buy when the markets are what? Down, and not when they are or when they are bullish in nature. On the other hand, see this. What is written over here? Technical analysis. You might see people running behind that charts and all that, graphs and all that. Candle light, this and that. देखा कभी आपने? Red, green, it goes. That is nothing but what? Your technical analysis. See what is written. As per this approach, the share price movements are systematic and what? Examine certain what patterns? Consistent patterns. So people predict कि कल का शेयर प्राइस क्या होने वाला है. मैंने कौन सा वर्ड यूज किया? प्रेडिक्शन. प्रेडिक्शन हो सकता है बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट ट्रेंड्स? द पास्ट ट्रेंड्स. In the past 6 months, past quarters, past 1 year, what was the trend of that? This. So देखा रहेगा शेयर प्राइस ऊपर नीचे जाता है. Based on these things, they predict what? The future. And this is not fundamental. This is what analysis? Technical. Fundamental में आप उसका बैलेंस शीट चेक करते हैं. You check the ratio, you check the EPS, you check how much loan this guy has taken. That is what analysis fundamental. But in technical आप क्या चेक करेंगे? उसके patterns based on what? The past trends. ये दो उसका मेन फर्क है. ठीक है. Now we'll start writing down. Pay attention, please, everyone. Now, everyone, pay attention, please. Okay. Whenever we will do any chapter, okay, the first thing what we'll follow is we will prepare the index of every chapter. What will we prepare? Not of the entire curriculum. I'm talking about one specific chapter. Okay. Now, the first thing जो आज शुरू कर रहे हैं अपन, that is what? Your portfolio management, which will go on for many days. Okay. Might be the entire month वही चलने वाला. क्या सिर्फ पोर्टफोलियो चलेगा. It's an easy chapter. Scoring तो बहुत है. But the point is we have to solve a variety of what? Questions. So first thing, please write down. अच्छा, before going on to your portfolio management, मुझे एक चीज बताएंगे. Portfolio consists of what? Many what? Dash securities. Just मैंने कहा it is a basket of securities. But unless and until you don't understand what? One security, you cannot go to the entire what? Portfolio. So please write down the first thing and then we will go ahead. Please write down first part in index. Return of what? Single security. First we'll understand this. Return of single security. Return of single security. Second, please write down expected return. Expected return. Please write down in the bracket mean. Expected return. Third, risk of single security. Risk of single security. I have not yet used the word portfolio anywhere. I'm still running behind what? Single security only. Next, write down please. coefficient of variation, coefficient of variation. Next, write down, first time I'll use the word portfolio return, portfolio return. Next, portfolio risk, portfolio risk. Next, systematic and unsystematic risk, systematic and unsystematic risk. Next, write down theories of portfolio, theories of portfolio. Concept of beta, concept of beta, concept of beta. And please keep that page open, we'll add more points over there the moment we start doing it, okay? But in the first few days, couple of days, sorry, we are going to only do the formulas. जब तक आप formulas दिमाग में जाएंगे तब तक आपको मजा नहीं आएगा क्या करने के लिए, questions solve करने के लिए, ठीक है? Once you get the formulas, all the question will be very simple. And 2-3 things what we'll follow is, we will start writing down or doing all the past examination questions. There are many questions which are what, repeated as it is, okay? Chalo, first take a new page and write down, which I'll ask you only. What is return? What is return of single security? What is return of single security? Which I think you should be in a position to answer me this question. Pay attention now. The point is what? If an investor is investing in stock market, he is doing this for what? Only one thing, that is what? Return. So if I ask you one simple question, what is the meaning of return in your dictionary? What is the answer? If you have invested somewhere, आप return में क्या expect कर रहे हैं? What? Dividends बराबर and capital appreciation also बराबर, okay? The answer is what? Dividend plus what? Capital appreciation. Dividend plus capital appreciation. Everybody expects dividend and everybody expects that my money which has been put, it should go up. That is one thing. That is only capital appreciation. Now this only we have to write down in what format? Initials format or the formulas. How will we write down? This is R. Dividend will be substituted by what? D1 plus, how to write capital appreciation? P1 minus P0. It is P1 minus P0. P stands for price. And that 1 is written, no, 1 and 0. It stands for years. When I write D0, इसका मतलब क्या होता है? It is the current year dividend, 0-year dividend. If I write D1, what is that? Expected dividend. So, pay attention please. If I have put 100 rupees और वो बढ़ के 120 हो गया है, this is my capital appreciation. How much has been appreciated? 20 rupees. That's my return. So this is my P1 and this is my what? P0. यही वहाँ पे लिखा है मैंने, P1 minus P0. And return है, it will always be divided by what? Your initial amount. Into what? 100. Into 100. Because return will always be in what? Percentage. 10%, 20, 30, 40. So what is the answer for return of single security? R is equal to D1 plus P1 minus P0 divided by P0 into 100. Very simple. D1 stands for expected dividend. P1 stands for price at the end. P0 stands for price at the beginning. Write it down. Dividend, expected dividend, P1, price at the end, P0, price at the beginning. Price at the beginning. Price at the beginning. Very simple. Second, please write down. Second, what is expected return? What is expected return? What is expected return? Achha, expected return is also called as what? Mean. Moment. Everybody had office today, what? अरे क्या हो गया इसको? One sec. Hang झालं ते. Online people, give me 2 minutes, huh? Please. Office? नाही? मग नाही काय म्हणलीस? शिवांगी तुझं नाही आहे ना? झालंय. तुझं? तुझं? आपका लगना है ना ऑफिस? ठीक है, चलो. Please write down what is expected return. And write down नीचे. I'll dictate. An investor always invests for future returns. For future returns. Expected return can be computed can be computed by the following methods. By the following methods. Please write down the two methods. Number one, simple average of past annual returns. Simple average of past annual returns. And second, please write down probability method. Second, write down probability method. Okay, I'll give you all other methods also, wo bhi likho, but these two only are important. But write down every method. Write down next also. Holding period return. Holding period return. Annualized holding period return. Annualized holding period return. Okay, but only the first two methods are important: simple average and probability. Okay, also one more thing, whenever we are computing what? Expected return, in fact we are computing nothing but what? The mean. And if you recollect something, mean is always denoted by what? X bar, Y bar, and whatever initials they have. समझ में आ रहा है? And all the formulas which are there, those are completely dependent upon this only. What? Your expected return. It's very simple. Tell me one thing. What was the first method? It is simple average of what? Past annual returns. It's very simple. And this method you will only use when what is not given. And if they have given probability, then compulsory what you have to use? Probability method only, which you will understand in a time. Write down the third one, please. Write down the third one. And what is that? What is that? Risk of single security. Risk of single security. Now, whenever risk comes in your paper, it is always to be computed by dash. Huh? Huh? Risk is always computed by, yes, so always computed by standard deviation. Is always computed by standard deviation. Is always computed by standard deviation. And that's the only reason it is called as deviation. Why? Pay attention, please, everyone. Now, risk can be defined in a lot of ways. Okay, the point is what? What is needed in portfolio management is very simple. This is your expected return. Let us say 10%. You are expecting 10% from the company, and if you get 7%, what is this? Sir, I have got less. This means what? This 3% is nothing but what? The risk what you have taken, because this is deviating from what? Your expected return. आपको इतना expect था, पर कितना मिला आपको? 7. जो बीच का deviation है वही क्या है आपका? वही risk है. And that risk is only computed by what? This medium called as what? Standard deviation. So please write down in one line, and then I will tell you the formula. Write down one thing. The deviation from expected return. The deviation from expected return. The deviation from expected return. The deviation from expected return is called as risk. Is called as risk in portfolio management. The deviation from expected return. The deviation from expected return is called as risk in portfolio management. Is called as risk in portfolio management. And then write down. Risk can be computed. Risk can be computed in the following manner. In the following manner. Pay attention. So please write down. If probability is not given, if probability is not given, and if probability is given. So you need to understand from the question itself whether P, the probability column, is given or not given. If it is not given, this is the formula. Standard deviation, can you please tell me what is the symbol? Okay, and this is the formula, under root summation r minus r bar square whole divided by n. Don't get confused over here. R bar is the expected return. In our example, it was 10%, and R is nothing but what? 7%. And that is the deviation what we are doing over here. Summation R minus R bar square divided by what? N. N stands for what? Number of observations जो आपके क्वेश्चन में दिए हुए. But if they have given you what? Probability, then your formula becomes what? Anyone who can try the formula? It will be standard deviation summation P into R minus R bar square. Do not divide by N. Do not divide by N. Do not divide by N. Summation P R minus R bar square, where R stands for return and R bar stands for what? Expected return, and N stands for what? Number of observations. Return, expected return, and N stands for number of observations in the question. There is one simple question given in your notes. Please go on to question number 2 first. Please come over here. It's a very simple question, a warm-up question, but let's see. I'll read the question out. See what you can do. An assessment of an investor as regards return on shares of X Limited and Y Limited under 3 different scenarios is as follows. They have given you 3 scenarios, and there is specifically one column over there of what? Probability. You have 2 companies, X Limited, Y Limited. The first question what they've asked you, पता है solve करा जाए. First question is what? What is the expected rate of return? ठीक है? And they've also asked you what? If they're asking you standard deviation, this means they're asking you what? Risk. If all your funds, if all your money are invested in X Limited, if all your funds in invested what? Y Limited. Now tell me, just think for 2 minutes and tell me how will you answer this? Fast. Anyone? Think and tell me. If probability is there, the first thing if I want to compute return is what? Sir, I need to multiply this by this into this into this, and they'll get an answer over here. So how will you do it? 0.25 into 36 plus 0.50 into 26 plus 0.25 into what? 12. Tell me how much is it? So the first thing what you do is you have to show them a table. You cannot do it on the calculator and just give your final answer to them. So do very properly. Probability X Limited into your return. This is basically return. So ये सब returns है आपके. So how much of probability? 0.25, 0.50 and 0.25. 36, 26 and 12. 36, 26 and 12. Give me a final answer please. How much is the answer? 25. 25. Everybody getting 25? Yes, no? Please do it for y also. Please do it for y the same way. 3 columns and give me the final answer. 3 columns and give me the final answer. Probability into return. So when we were doing expected return, I have given you two methods. One is simple average and one is probability. इसमें we cannot use simple average. And this is basically your x bar. Can you please tell me how much is y bar coming up to? Same. 0.25 into 22 plus 0.50 into 16 plus 0.25 into 14. 17. 17. 17. Everybody getting yes, no? Pay attention. Now the point is, they have also asked you what? This also what? Standard deviation. Now first of all, please tell me what is the formula. If probability is given, formula क्या है? Under root summation p r minus r bar square. Now think and tell me, because you need to compute standard deviation for both, and then we will compare which security to go for on the basis of risk and return. Return तो आपके सामने आ गया अभी. X का कितना आ गया 25, Y का कितना आ गया 17. अभी ये कंपेयर करने के लिए मुझे और भी चीज निकालना पड़ेगा. क्या निकालना पड़ेगा मुझे? इसका रिस्क भी निकालना पड़ेगा. तो सबसे पहले we'll do it for what? X limited, and you already know the formula. What is the formula of standard deviation? Summation p r minus r bar square. Now remember one thing, you need to draw columns. Pay attention. You need to draw columns where the total is coming this what? Summation का मतलब क्या ऐड करना पड़ेगा ना? क्या ऐड करना पड़ेगा आपको? Probability into what? This figure. And when you get that figure, आपको सिर्फ क्या प्रेस करना है? Square root. But you tell me, you only have r bar. What is r bar? R bar is nothing but this x bar over here. So how can I write this formula? X minus x bar. You tell me what to do now. कैसे करायचं? How? First column will be your obviously what? Probability जो आपका है. Second, आप डिल भी कर सकते हो. वो क्या? X minus x bar and x minus x bar square multiplied by what? Probability. और जो यहां पे आपका टोटल आएगा ना, that total you will put it over there. What is probability? 0.25, 0.50 and 0.25. Next, now x bar is already how much? 25. X bar is already 25. And what is x, which is given over there? It is given over there. First value how much? Please tell me. 11. What? Answer निकाल दोगे क्या पूरा? Second is what? It will come in minus, no? What? Sorry. It will become 1. Third is what? Minus 1, 3. And now you have to do the last column. 11. It is square now. Square into probability. 11 का square into probability. 7 नहीं individual. $30.25. 32 point total 73. And now you will compute the standard deviation for x. 73 square root. Answer 8.54. 8.54. Now this is the risk of X. Now you need to compute the risk of Y using the same formula, and then we will compare. There's one more question over there, down. Do it. I'll wait. Please. Ishan, your answer is right. Ishan, tell me what is the standard deviation? What is the standard deviation? Is it matching 8.54? Is it matching 8.54? शुभांगी आंसर आले गए कुठं अडकले गाडी एक्स म्हणजे काय जो फिगर दिया है यहाँ पे जे ह्यात आहेत 36 26 12 ते आपले एक्स आहेत आणि एक्स बार का है जो अपने अपन ने सॉल्व किया ये वाला क्या 25 तो आपको वो माइनस करना है सो फर्स्ट क्या है 36 माइनस 25 इज व्हाट 11 नेक्स्ट 26 माइनस 25 1 एंड लास्ट में 12 माइनस 25 माइनस 13 फिर लास्ट में अपन ने उसका स्क्वायर करके इनटू प्रोबेबिलिटी किया है फिर ऑनलाइन पीपल प्लीज गिव मी आंसर फॉर वाई प्लीज गिव मी आंसर फॉर वाई वाई का आंसर 3 answers first single 5 minus 1 and here 6.25 0.5 2 point total on the basis of return what you will select and on the basis of risk what you will select it is y both will be different now there's one more question over there what नीचे और एक दिखा है क्या in proportion of 60% in x and 40% in y मतलब क्या उसका जल्दी बताओ just tell me orally because in the first question all your funds were going what in x or either y but नीचे लिखा भी उन लोगों ने it is 60-40 how will you do it so it's very simple pay attention please can you please tell me x y how much was the return of x expected return कितना था how much what is 20 and y and now we are investing in x how much 60% and y how much 40%. So if you are doing this they are asking you what is the mean return of all of this thing. So very simple what I'll do 0.60 that is 60% into what 25 plus what 0.40 into what I'll do 7 sorry 17 my bad 17 answer 20 21.8 21.8 simple 21.8 21.8 pay attention solve this right now the first question compute the annual return, expected return and risk. Go very easy because the first is what? It is not year 1, it is what? Year 0. How will you do it? Anyone? Ishan, your answer is right. Good. In the second question, it was very simple because they had already computed returns and given it to you. In the second question, if you see the columns over there, this was what already over here? Returns. That was very simple. But in the first question, they have not given you what? कहाँ पे दिया रिटर्न आपको? तो सबसे पहले आपको रिटर्न कंप्यूट करना पड़ेगा. So first you tell me orally how will you compute return and then you start solving. Sir, it will be individual. How? I have to start from year 1. Tell me the formula for return. D1 plus P1 minus P0 divided by P0. So if I ask you return for this first, आप कैसे लिखेंगे? Sir, 1.53 plus 20.25 minus 31.25. year 0 आपको इसलिए दिया है because ये कौन सा है? ये P0 और ये क्या है? ये P1 है. ये साल के लिए क्या होगा? This will be P1 and this will be what? P0. So this, in this fashion, you have to first compute the dash what? Returns starting from year 1. Do it and give it to me first. Ishan, give me answers first. Chalo. First return will come negative. Huh? First return will come negative. How much is the first return? Anyone? Minus what? 0. Everybody getting the same answer? Minus 0.30. Ishan, see how much you are getting? You have to compute the returns first and then we will compute expected return. In the second question, returns were already computed. That's why you directly went for expected return. Second wale mein, it will be 30.88 minus 20.25 and plus 1.53 divided by 20.25. Zero 0.6, 1.21, 0.5 and last 154 minus 100, 0.57. Please see everybody getting the same answers. Minus 0.3, positive 0.6, 1.21, 0.52 and 0.57. Please let me know whether you're getting the same answers or what. Everyone. Last one. ठीक है. आगे का नंबर क्या है? किशोर, आपका आंसर राइट है. बट इट इज नेगेटिव. हाँ, माइनस 0.30. आना उद्यापासून कंपल्सरी. हाँ, everybody getting the answers which are there? Everybody getting? Sohani? Online people, did you get the answers? Now, the point is what? This is only computation of what? Returns. Now we have landed up on the same question which was over here, returns now. And now we need to compute what? Expected. Do you see the column of probability over here? No. We have two methods only, simple average of past annual returns and probability. तो इसमें क्या यूज करेंगे अभी? Simple average. Please compute expected return, give it to me. क्या करेंगे आप? इसका एवरेज निकालेंगे, -0.30 प्लस 0.6 प्लस 1.21 प्लस 0.52 प्लस 0.57 डिवाइड बाय हाउ मच 5, दैट्स द एक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न. Expected return 0.52. Everybody getting yes, no? 0.52. And please come to the last part, and that is what? The risk. How will you come? Now tell me the formula for risk first. What is the formula for risk? Now this is without probability. So it will be what? Under root summation r minus r bar square whole divided by what? N. Now see, what is r over here and what is r bar over here? R bar is this 0.52 and r is what? This. So your columns will be how much? How many observations are there? We have how much? 5. 3, 4, 5. This will be r, which is how much? Minus 0.30, 0.60, 1.21, 0.52 and 0.57 approx. Next column will be r minus r bar. You can do square also. And this total is what we want. And this is total what we want. Square is always positive. Huh? So please, please, plus minus mother. Square is always positive. Online people, please give me the answer. R minus r bar square. R bar is 0.52. R bar is 0.52. 0.52. This is the total. 0.6724. This is square, na? Full. 006. Next. 0961. 23. Where? Full. Total. Zero point triple seven four. 774. Everybody getting these figures more or less? नहीं आ रहा है? कहाँ पे? Where? ठीक है, फर्स्ट क्या है? हाँ 0.67. Second, 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 third 0.4761. Next and last 0.0025 and this total 1.1574. ठीक है? Is this the final answer? No. अभी आपको क्या करना है? आपको you have to substitute in this formula, this one, under root 1.1574 divided by 5, and then you have to press square root and then there will be your answer. How much is 1.1574 divided by 5? 1.1574 divided by 5. कोई भी डायरेक्ट आंसर मत निकालो. 0.23 and last answer. 0.4811. Return, expected return, risk. We have not started with what? Portfolio. ये सब किस में खेल रहे हैं अपन? Single security only. Okay. These questions won't come in your exam. Huh? This is only what? Simple questions. Okay. So from tomorrow we'll start with what? Portfolio. एक बार वापस revise करेंगे, then we will leave. Number 1. Please tell me the formula for R. जल्दी. D1 plus P1 minus P0 divided by P0 into 100. Expected return can be computed via two methods: simple average, probability, also called as mean, x bar, y bar. If P is given, please use the same thing. Okay. Then we went on to risk of single security. Two methods. Achha, risk is computed by standard deviation. Okay, it is a deviation from your expected return. Two methods: P not given, P given. If P is not given, what is the formula? लवकर. Under root summation R minus R bar square divided by N. And if P is given, under root summation P R minus R bar square. Don't forget the under root sign. घाई गड़बड़ में you will do everything and you will forget to press what? The square root. That is very, very important. Okay. तिथंच मुलं गडबड करतात. Okay. चलो. We stop here. Again, we'll start tomorrow. Same timing, 7:30. There will be law also this week, which I'll update you on the group. Okay. We'll continue tomorrow with portfolio management. Please do come, and please do come with the calculator. Okay. Thank you.